Are WWE introducing a Tribal Chief Championship, plus the Raw on Netflix main event? We have an update on that, and an update on a WWE star's injury status. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. So this Monday on Raw, we'll see Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa in tribal combat, fighting for the Ula Fala. However, Andrew Hodkinson, there could be another prize that could be on the line between those two at some point.
Well, there sure could be, Thomas Campbell. This comes from WrestleVotes, who say sources indicate WWE has discussed introducing a Tribal Chief Championship into the storyline between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, similar to the People's Championship presented to The Rock at WrestleMania earlier this year. Oh, Tom.
Do we need a belt?
No, because we got the Ula Fala.
The Ula Fala is what the thing represents. I don't think it needs a belt.
Me neither, which indicates to me, if a belt is getting introduced, I do feel like The Rock is going to be a prominent part of this storyline going forward.
You can have one on each shoulder.
Yeah, I just don't think it needs it, because we've been building so much between the it's not necessarily about the championships anymore, it's about the Ula Fala. That's what this storyline feels like it's been built around between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. So for it to then become a championship, maybe it gets broken or something like that and they introduce it in, but I just don't think it needs it. It just feels a bit weird.
Whether it's something that maybe Solo Sikoa brings in as a vanity thing, potentially. But then you've got this situation where you've possibly got The Rock coming back as the People's Champion. You've got either Solo or Roman Reigns as the Tribal Chief Champion. You've got Kevin Owens with the Winged Eagle Championship.
Yeah.
Too many belts. Too many belts. Too many belts. Too many belts.
And I guess maybe that's the problem as well, because if they put more emphasis on, say, that storyline and push that to like the main event or the closing match of like every night, does that denounce what the WWE Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship is?
It makes the WWE Undisputed Championship even more disputed.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, so it feels very, very strange. It feels like an idea that would have become something in the olden times of WWE, which isn't that much old. Like, it feels like not that long ago WWE, but it feels like an old idea.
Seems like a silly thing to do, in our opinion. Also, when it comes to Raw on Netflix, we spoke yesterday about how the plan was to see Seth Rollins and CM Punk headline Raw on January 6th. WrestleVotes Backstage Pass say there's been some clarification from their sources as to what match is going on last, and it's looking like it's not going to be Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, but rather the match that we just spoke of, the tribal combat match between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. And here's the thing, you and I made some really valid points why that match shouldn't go on last.
Yes.
They are not Raw guys.
No,
they're not going to be on Netflix week to week. Why would you want to end the show focusing on guys that you're then going to send over to Fox?
Because The
Not
Rock.
Fox, sorry, USA.
Because I imagine The Rock will be there, and they'll want the they'll want like the more sort of like universal names in terms of someone like The Rock being there to like be the big crescendo, I guess, at the end of the show. But I'm sad, because I genuinely really did want it to be Seth and Punk, and I think there were some valid things that we said yesterday that, I mean, I think that would be brilliant. Like, why not bring everybody in to start the show? This big, do I dare say, red hot
musical
feud?
number?
I was going to say this red hot. It's not red hot, is it really? But this storyline that's been sort of like, it's been building for a long time at this point, hasn't it? And to bring everybody in like straight away would be a good thing to do. But hey ho.
I don't know why, when you said bring everyone in my head I'm going like, what, bring them all onto the ramp to sing a song?
Bring everybody in.
Like that song that the Muppets sang at Jim Henson's funeral. If just one person believes in you. Don't know what. I think it's nearly the end of term here at Cultaholic. So
it is, isn't it?
Ed's a bit sillier than normal. So WWE moving over to Netflix to dumbing in January, and in terms of what we'll get from that, we spoke quite openly about the fact that we know that Raw is going to be there. The whole archive of Monday Night Raw will be there. Not sure about everything else. Certainly, WCW and ECW pay-per-views might not be part of the scene. The Cultaholic Classic Nitro review, I'd like to reassure you, one, we have a new episode coming out on Sunday, and it won't be interrupted too. So we will still have a Classic Nitro review. We will still have a Classic SmackDown review, come what may, in 2025. And you'll get them on the podcast feed and video versions on our Patreon as well. So Raw goes to Netflix. AEW making a move as well, where they'll be broadcast on Max.
Yes.
And we've had an update on plans for Max and the archive of AEW today.
Yeah, we sure have. So yesterday, Max sent out a press release promoting the arrival of AEW on the streaming platform from January, with some good news for wrestling fans to watch classic episodes. They said in that press release, AEW Dynamite, Collision, Rampage, and all AEW pay-per-view library content through the end of 2024, representing more than 700 hours of AEW action, will be made available on Max on a rolling basis. At launch, all AEW Dynamite episodes and pay-per-views from the company's inaugural 2019 year will be available, as well as more than 2 months of the most recent AEW programming that aired across WBD's networks. Select episodes will be made available shortly after launch.
We did wonder when AEW would capitalize on like an archive on a streaming platform.
Yes.
I feel like it's a big part of that puzzle that's been missing.
Absolutely.
And when they announced the deal with Max, we thought, oh, okay, well, it looks as if they'll probably move over and put everything on Max, which is from January they are slowly starting to do.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Do you know what, like, I'm excited to go back and watch some of the just historical moments of AEW. I was going to say, remember a time of what once was,
Do you
which sounds very cynical
2019?
of me. But no, like, there's some absolute banging matches in just the short amount of time that AEW has been around, and I'm excited to go back and just re-experience those.
Yeah, some phenomenal in-ring action
Absolutely.
will be available on Max from January onwards. There should be good in-ring action tonight. ROH presenting Final Battle at the Hammerstein Ballroom. A lot of very late developments to this, and I am shocked to be saying this. Shocked to be saying that they are booking this ROH Final Battle card very quickly. Like they've just had it dropped on them. Kale Surprise, AEW and Tony Khan. A whole, but how many matches?
We got 6.
6 matches added last night.
Baker's dozen.
For the show tonight.
That's not a baker's dozen, is it? What's a baker's 13?
It's half a baker's dozen.
It's a half a Baker's. It's a 6 matches.
It's half a dozen.
So let's tell you about them. So on the main show, we got. I'm sorry, everybody. It is nearly Christmas time.
Never be sorry.
On the main show, Shibata will face Tommy Billington, whilst Atlantis Jr. from CMLL will face MXM's Mansoor. On the 0 hour pre-show, 4 matches have been announced. We've got GYV, the Grizzled Young Veterans, versus the Dark Order. We've got Harley Cameron versus Stardom Star Hanako. We've got the Undisputed Kingdom versus the Infantry, and Lee Johnson and EJ Nduka facing Gates of Agony. And the 0 hour will be live on Ring of Honor's socials tonight as well, so you can catch them.
So you'll be able to watch it before it jumps over onto Honor Club and I think Fight as well. Or Triller, rather, sorry. This is just indicative of Ring of Honor booking, is that just days before the pay-per-view, or at least this gets 24 hours before the pay-per-view, they go, matches!
It is, but do you know what? Like, I'm glad that at least they do that for free with putting quite a few matches on the 0 hour pre-show, I guess, as a way to hopefully like bring people in. And sometimes the things on the pre-show are pretty good as well, you know? Yeah. Sometimes I like kind of bangers, so hopefully it does bring people in.
This is it. Ring of Honor does well despite some of the creative decisions that are made. It'll be in-ring a really, really good night of wrestling. There's going to be some really good stuff on there. Intrigued to see what Jericho and Matt Cardona do.
Oh, yes.
I have no doubt that Athena and Billy Starks are going to own the night. No doubt.
I imagine so. But that is what Shibata and Tommy Billington is going to be. Oh, it's going to be stiff as anything.
It's going to be.
Won't we all be as well? Won't we all?
Stiff as a deleted in fear of YouTube guidelines. Okay, we'll end on this. So NXT had a taping last night at the Performance Center for their New Year's Eve show. And normally by this point, spoilers have come out as to what's happened. This is normally where we'd say kiss, kiss, love you, bye. But I don't think we really need to do that because spoilers haven't come out from this show. I feel like there might have been some sort of phone ban from the venue to prevent people from making notes or like
crazy.
They were maybe a bit more locked down on spoilers. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe something will come out by the time, this video has come out. But from what we know at the moment, when it comes to that show, we have a wonderful update on Wesley. So earlier in the week, Wesley competed on WWE Main Event, where it was reported by PW Insider that he'd been injured during that match. And there was some question marks over what was going to happen with him. He wasn't part of NXT on Tuesday, with the exception of a segment which threw back to a previous week, away from story. But Wesley was in action last night.
Yes.
By all accounts. Fightful's Corey Brennan sharing the good news, saying that Wesley was part of the NXT taping rehearsals that took place just beforehand, where he'll be competing in a 6-man tag team match. So delighted that Wesley is fighting fit. Also, interestingly, one of Wesley's opponents in that 6-man is Andre Chase, who was going through the rehearsals and wasn't planning on wearing his Chase U attire. End of an era. Or...
No, we can't do that at Christmas time.
They have ruined Christmas because Chase U might be, or it's very much his brown bread. Unless there's a Hail Mary coming in the tapings.
Sad.
We will see. But delighted that Wesley is doing okay. For the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out cultaholic.com. Kiss, kiss!
I love you, bye.